Hi everyone, my name is Destiny. I go by Eat Your Destiny on Instagram, and today we're back for another live cooking demo. I'm gonna call her my friend. This is my Instagram friend. We met in the DM somehow. Her name is Brie, and she's gonna be making a vegan mojo sauce today. I also love her because she's Cuban, just like me, and cooks a lot of like really fresh meals. Every Monday she posts like some meal prep things that she does, and I'm really excited for y'all to meet her. I also wanted to plug that we did do a live, I don't know, maybe like a couple months ago on Instagram talking all about composting and sustainable living. She's very well educated on those topics. So without any uh delay, I'm going to bring her on. Let's see. Alrighty, hey.
Hi, what's
How are you
up?
on this Monday?
Ugh, Monday's a Monday, you know?
Yeah. So wait, are you meal prepping today or is this like the one thing you're making today?
This is the one thing I'm making today because I actually made something yesterday. I made like a giant batch of Cuban black beans, and I was like, you know what?
Mm.
This batch is so big that it looks like we're gonna be eating black beans for the rest of the week. So,
I love it. I'm gonna put your Instagram page here so everybody can follow you. I just really love your page because first of all, it looks like all your pictures are from like a magazine. So there's that. I'm like, dang, this looks like it belongs in like, I don't know, Oprah's magazine or something.
oh, please,
And
I
two,
wish.
like you'll get there. I believe in you. And two, like you just make a lot of like really fresh things. Like, I saw that you posted like vegan mayonnaise. I don't know if you made that from scratch. Did
Yeah.
you?
hmm
Okay, cool. So like things like that where people are spending like six, seven, almost $10 on like vegan from all these like different vegan brands. You showcase that you can make them at home. So definitely follow Brie on Instagram. Are you on Facebook or like any other platforms?
No, just Instagram.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Well, that's my little intro about you. You can actually tell us like who you are now, and then just like walk us through what we're doing today and all that good stuff. I'm gonna make you the solo
Yes.
layout.
Okay, cool. So my name is Bree. I've been vegan for 4 years. I think we're going on 4 years now. I forget. And yeah, I think I'm finding my niche now, and I think it's like what Destiny said, like fresh foods. I mainly shop at the farmers market, so that's mainly what I cook is whatever I find at the farmers market. Now recently I've been trying to veganize all the Cuban dishes that I remember growing up. It's been fun. It's been kind of hard, but yeah, I mean, it's a cool way to reconnect with your roots, I guess you could say. I am first generation Cuban American, so my parents came here when during the freedom flights in the 70s, 60s, I forget. But so I was born and raised in like a Cuban American household, very Americanized almost up to a point. And ever since my dad passed, it was kind of like an awakening for me, like, oh, I need to remember kind of who I am. Like, my mom was a little bit more Americanized and my dad kind of wasn't. He was like my connection to my Cuban roots. So now I've been doing that. And yeah, it's been a fun time. Can't hear you.
Rookie mistake. Okay. I love I love that you brought that up. Because I can definitely relate. So I'm Puerto Rican and Cuban, but I literally have like no ties to any of like my Cuban side. So I learned a lot from your page and like the different foods. I've always eaten Cuban food, but never like in my household. It's always like at a restaurant or like
Yeah.
somebody that I know's mom cooks it. But yeah, it's really interesting once I moved out of the house and I was eating like a little bit like, Puerto Rican food at home. Now that I'm by myself, I'm like, dang, like I really need to learn. So I'm going through this process now of like relearning the recipes and then trying to veganize it. So I definitely can relate to that. It's a lot of work. But once you nail it, like you got those recipes down, you're good.
Oh man, yeah. Like I was telling you before, the Cuban black beans, that those black beans, it's like it's a hit or miss kind of thing. Like you can go to any Cuban restaurant, but they're never going to be the same. And for me, I've just been trying super hard to get it like how I remember that my grandmother made it. And I think I finally nailed it. And I'm like super excited because I'm going to share it with everyone. But that's just like number one. I don't want to put anything out there that I don't think is adequate, I guess you could say.
Mhm. Yeah, I feel you. Well, yeah, let's get started with what you're making today. So just like introduce, I guess, the sauce, tell us what you're going to use it for, run us through the ingredients and all that stuff.
So I'm making a creamy vegan mojo sauce. Mojo is something that is typically used, I'm pretty sure it's universally used throughout a lot of Latin countries, but Cubans use it the most for to put it on top of yuca, tostones, maduros, or just like something to dip like bread or whatever in. I made it creamy because I actually my partner David does not like mojo. He's not a fan, and I love mojo. So I was like, I have to find a way to make it that I know he'll like it. And making it creamy was a way that he liked it, and I loved it. It's really good. I will say mojo is for people who really like garlic because there's a lot of garlic in this, and your mouth will be on fire for like the whole day, and the garlic takes like a while to get out. But this mojo is pretty easy to make. It's everyday ingredients. So we have orange juice. I just pressed the oranges right now. Limes, two limes, and then cilantro stems. The reason why I say the stems is because the leaves change the color, and I really wanted to make it so that it's like a whitish color, and that's how mojo usually is. And then the whole garlic, most likely. It depends on your taste. So I usually start with 10 cloves of garlic, and if I feel like it needs more, then I put more. If if I think it's okay, then obviously I don't put any more. And then tofu, this is what's going to make it creamy. I suggest getting silken soft tofu. This is also a really great way to add protein to a sauce like what we're doing today. Tofu has a lot of protein. I'm not sure how much protein this has. It has 4 grams each serving. And this is,
That's
we're going to
awesome.
use the whole thing. Yeah. Because, that's the
Thank you
main
for
stigma, right?
mentioning. Right. I was just gonna say thank you for mentioning that because that's the first thing everybody's like, "Where's the protein?" I'm like, "Come on." But you know what? Also, a lot of people have questions, and we've gotten them on this page as well about tofu and just like how to cook it, what to use it for. And I know like there's a huge difference between the silken tofu and like the regular like firm tofu. I personally haven't cooked with the silken tofu because I feel like it's good for like sauces and like smoothies and things like that. So, do you use that type of tofu for anything else?
Um, I've made mayo with this before.
Mm.
Um, and in just in sauces, to be honest, I don't think I've ever chopped it up and like thrown it on a pan or anything like that. I know that there's so many different ways to use this, but
Mhm.
uh oh, I think I've used this before to make flan. Yes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it gives it that, like that nice soft texture.
Yeah.
Yeah, but honestly, in I haven't tried it in a smoothie, but I have seen that, and I actually would like to try that. But again, this is just like a perfect way to get some extra protein in there. You don't taste it, you don't feel it. Most people try to like when they make like creamy vegan stuff, I feel like they try to go for like cashews or nuts, and I have a lot of friends that are allergic to nuts, so I always try to find a way to make things that don't have nuts in them and that it's like allergen friendly. So
Mhm.
this was like what I thought about, and it worked. And then just one onion chopped. Doesn't have to be perfect. You're just chopping it up and throwing it in a blender. And then yeah, and then a blender.
Nice. That's so easy. Like you said, it's like everyday ingredients. I think the only thing somebody might have to go get is the tofu, but that's something that you
Mm-hmm.
can easily find in any supermarket, especially that one. I see the silken tofu like in a lot of supermarkets that I wouldn't even expect it to be in. So that's
Yeah,
awesome.
I actually had to run out and get some more, and I found it quickly, like no problem, out of
Yeah.
whatever supermarket that was nearby.
Cool. Awesome. I'm gonna bring you back solo so you can get started.
Okie dokie. So first, yeah, we're just gonna throw everything in here. First, garlic. So I have a garlic press. I know a lot of people don't have a garlic press, and mincing garlic could be really annoying. I get it. My favorite way though is to put it through the garlic press, because when you make garlic into a paste, that's when most of the flavor comes out. You can use like a mortar and pestle, or being that it's just going to be blended, I would suggest just using your knife, like the back of your knife, and just smashing it. That works. I mean, how other ways can you? I don't know. A little trick too is that I should have done this before to get the peelings off. I know people hate doing that because I know I do. You can put it in some hot water and it should come off like super quickly.
Ooh,
But
that's a good tip. I've seen so many different TikToks with like how to, cut garlic or like take the skin off of garlic. And I've never heard about the like hot water one. That's cool.
yeah, I should have tried it just to show it. But so
It's
you could
okay.
just do this, right? Or if you had this garlic press, I think this thing was like $2 at IKEA.
Mm.
And then you just press it. Ah, okay. Straight into there. And then of course like scrape it off. So yeah, so I'm going to do, where was my, what is that? 2, 3, 4. I think I'm gonna go with the 10 because these garlic cloves are pretty big. Well, they're like decent sized. 5, 6, 7.
The more the merrier. I love garlic. Honestly, I want my breath to be kicking for the next 4 days. I feel like you can't go wrong with too much garlic, especially like to put it on tostones. Oh my God, I'm hungry. I can't wait till we get off of this so I can make it and eat it for myself.
I agree, and I don't know. I feel like that's such a like a Spanish thing almost. Like we just love putting a crap ton of garlic in everything, and I'm not mad about it.
Every
I love
single
it.
Yep, same. Every single recipe, like I buy garlic multiple times a month just because I use so much of it, and yellow onion too.
Oh yeah, I put that in my story the other day. I was like, if you don't buy like 2 pounds of onions almost every week, then what are you cooking? How are you cooking?
Does your food even have flavor?
Yeah, that's the
I always
question.
question people who are like, "Oh, I don't like onions," and I'm like, "Come on, just give it." You could eat an onion in so many different ways. Like obviously, a raw onion compared to like a caramelized onion is like completely different. Y'all need to expand your taste buds.
For sure. My mom, she does not like onions. She will literally, if I make something and I do like thinly sliced onions, she will sit there and pick the onions out. I'm like, I don't get it. You're Cuban. How does that make sense?
Do we have the same mom? Because my mom literally does the same thing. Like she does not.
Really?
I mean, then again, my mom doesn't eat like anything, but
Oh
onions
my God.
especially.
I think we have the same mom because my mom is very picky as well.
Yeah, it's funny how like I grew up in a very just like I guess like standard American diet kind of household. My mom, I ate a lot of like spaghetti and meat sauce and hot dogs and things like that. And my mom was like the pickiest eater. And now I'm like, look at me, go me. I'm eating all this different stuff that I never even knew existed when I was a child.
Yep, same. I mean, when I was younger, I know my mom struggled to feed me because I was really picky. And I think like when I was 8, 9 or something like that, I just started exploring on my own and I totally changed. And now it's like the opposite. My mom's the picky one. I think she might be
Mm.
watching this too. She's probably going to be like, I don't appreciate you talking about me.
My mom just says the same thing. I'm like, oh, actually, I can't send you the link. No, something happened. You can't watch it. But yeah, let's talk about while you're doing the garlic, let's talk about meal prep because like I said before, that's something that I really enjoy like seeing your posts. And when people think of meal prep, they think that they have to spend like 8 hours in the kitchen, washing every single thing in the refrigerator, making like seven of the same exact meals. And like that's not necessarily true. And I like that you post like, hey, I just made like a bulk thing of like this sauce and I made a bulk thing of beans and rice. Like so kind of walk us through like what meal prep in your home looks like.
So usually I'll do it on Mondays, but now I started working, so I Mondays have been kind of hard for me. But usually what I how like my process of thinking is Usually Fridays or Saturdays, I kind of sit there and I shop in my like pantry and in my refrigerator, and I see what needs to be used or what I have, and then I'll also clean out my fridge. Because like usually if like I make like a really big batch of sauce and it's been over like a week or something like that, I hate throwing it out, but I'll taste it and I'm like, ooh, no, that needs to be thrown out. So yeah, I'll clean like the fridge out on Saturdays. And then then Sunday I'll gather like everything together. I try really hard not to do more than like 5 hours because there's been times where I will literally do it like a whole shift in my kitchen and I'm just super tired and it's never worth it. Um, then again, I'll be like, okay, so like let's say I have some sad kale and some sad mushrooms. I'll roast those together or I'll roast any veggies together. I try to do at least one grain. Sometimes the protein, that's where I get myself sometimes. Like I'll forget like, oh, I need to do like something with tofu or I need to prepare these soy curls or whatever. But then I'll leave that like for the middle of the week. I have seen that people make like full-blown meals and then meal prep it. And for me, I don't know. I just don't like it that way. And I don't know, for some reason I've been like weird about leftovers. Like I love leftovers, but meal prep like that up to the point where I'm literally eating the same meal like for 6, 7 days. No, thank you.
It
Our
gets
life is,
boring real fast.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Our life is too short for us to eat the same meal for 7 whole days. So,
Mhm.
like, I could do 3, 4 days, even like the fourth, it's pushing it. That's why I do a lot of sauces because I'm like, okay, cool. If I do, let's say, brown rice with whatever, like black beans and some roasted vegetables, the only difference will be is all the different sauces. So like one day I could do a pesto sauce, the next day I could do the mojo sauce, another day I could do like a Asian style and do something like with ginger. I try to do like different ethnicities if that makes sense. Not ethnicities. Am I saying that wrong? I don't know.
I
I
know what
don't
you
know what's
mean.
right anymore.
Yeah.
I don't
No,
want
like
to
you
come
just
off
try to make
wrong.
meals from different cultures.
Yes,
I
yes,
think,
yes.
yeah, that's really important too. Like I buy like so much like not potatoes, tomatoes and tomato sauce. So like sometimes we'll have like an Italian week, and obviously it's not like 100% authentic, but it's like, hey, like this is what I can do with what I have. And, sometimes we'll have like Asian style food and Mexican style food. So I definitely feel you. Switching it up is like really important. I also like to go to different restaurants like around like the neighborhood and see what's on their menu and like try to recreate it at home. 9 times out of 10, like I'm not that great at cooking, and like Brianna's the one that kind of like experiments more with like new recipes. But I'm like, hey, I want to try this. So I feel like finding inspiration in different places is really important.
Oh, for sure. I love to do that too. Even like places that I've never been to. I just look at like random menus and I'm like, what's that? Ooh, what's that?
Yes.
Because it's funny too, like,
Yesterday,
mhm. No, go ahead.
no, okay. I was just gonna say yesterday I went to a restaurant and they had like a matcha or chata, I don't know, drink. And I was like, oh my God, I have like all of these ingredients in my house and it was so good, like so good. So I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna go there and spend $6 on that anymore. I'm just gonna go home and recreate it.
No, I totally get that. It's funny because not too long ago, where was it? Oh, I'm adding the onions now to the blender. And you can just throw it as is. I mean, I like to chop it up because then you might get like really giant pieces in there. But if you really wanted to, you can just like throw in the whole onion, like nothing's going to happen. Um, yeah, the other day, I think, where was it? Oh yeah, David and I went to here we go. We went to Beyond Sushi and I love that place, but we spent so much money and we were still hungry when we were done eating. We were like, wow, that was pretty not worth it. And and then at the end of the day, the home cooked meal is always a home cooked meal. Like that's what I prefer for sure. I need to get my bowl of hold on, my
Beyond
bowl of
Sushi is actually
scraps.
really good. When I last time I went home, I one of my friends took me out there and I was like, dang, like it was so good. We had like some mushroom, I don't know, some type of
Oh my
mushroom
God.
sushi.
Yes,
It was so
yes.
good.
That's my favorite. I had that roll what was it? Wednesday, I think it was that we went. And I was like, I don't remember this roll, but it's so good.
Yes, it was so good. But like you said, you spend a lot of money and then you leave and you're like hungry an hour later. So I'm always like, dang, like we should try to go home and make this like sushi roll, but sometimes it's a fail.
Yeah, yeah. I'm adding the lime now. I think I'm gonna do, yeah, I think I'm gonna do two whole limes. To backpedal on that, yeah. I mean, I try to like order food out like that I know that I'll have trouble like recreating. Like
Hmm.
sushi is something that I still haven't yet to perfect. So I don't mind spending money on sushi, but then it's still like I'm still hungry, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, sushi definitely doesn't like fill you up like that. But it's
Mm-mm.
good. It's good while it lasts.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so I have another question about sauces. What is your like favorite sauce to make?
Hmm. I think pesto, it's become a favorite, I have to say, because now I've learned how just to take like literally any green and you can make it into pesto. And I think that's so fascinating. And it always kind of tastes
Mm-hmm.
the same too, you know? The other day I made
Definitely.
a, just because I didn't want to keep eating pesto, I made a creamy pesto. So I just put, I just made like cashew cream and then I threw in pesto ice cubes and it was so good. And I was like, wow, like, look how easy that
Nice.
was.
So that was one of my other questions. It's when this sauce is done, like how long will it last in the refrigerator? Yeah, and like because you just mentioned that you freeze things. So is this a sauce that you can freeze, or is this one that you probably wouldn't prefer to put in the freezer?
I didn't try freezing it, but I personally wouldn't just because of the tofu. I don't know how
Mm.
the texture of the tofu in the sauce may like I don't know what would happen is what I'm is what I guess because
Yeah,
I know
yeah,
that when you freeze tofu and you take it out, it gets like, to make it look like chicken. I've seen like videos and stuff like that. So I'm
yeah.
like, I don't know if it's the same thing with the silken. I will say that I left it in my fridge for a week and by like the full week, it still tasted good, but I feel like if I gave it like another day or two, it would have not been that great. So I would say a
It's like an
week, but
avocado.
yeah.
It's like one day it's amazing, the next day it's like disgusting. Cool.
Well, this
Oh, okay,
definitely
so
oh sorry. This definitely builds with time. So that's why I always say that's why I said that the garlic, like if you're not a fan of garlic, don't go crazy and put more than 10 cloves of garlic because the flavor will develop and it'll just get garlicky and garlicky or if that's a word. I don't know.
it is today. No, I definitely feel that. That's like what I made something in the winter. I made like a vegan coquito and I was telling
Oof.
people, I'm like, you could put a lot of liquor in it today, but like in a week it's gonna taste like 1,000 times more potent. So it's probably like, it's the same thing with garlic. It's one of those ingredients that it's a little light in the beginning, but give it some time and
And
super
yeah,
powerful.
it'll kick you in the butt.
Yeah.
All right. And then now I'm gonna I keep like okay, hold on. I have my little compost bin here, but once it gets full,
Oh.
then it gets intertwined with my clothing. All right, so now I'm gonna throw. So I will say this: it tells you to rinse it. Be careful when you're rinsing it. I've had a lot of issues before where it just like completely falls apart. It doesn't really matter in this sauce because we're still blending it, but I'm saying like in general, if you guys want to use this for anything else, you have to be careful with it because look, it's already like falling apart. Super delicate.
Yeah.
And what
It's
I
so
like
pretty
about this too,
though.
right? Can you see?
Yeah.
What I like is that this packaging is actually recyclable. So
Nice.
no harm. Well, not that much harm done. Ah, okay.
Yay, it came out in one chunk.
Yeah. There.
Awesome.
Just gonna press it a little bit with my hands to get all the moisture out. And then all right, that was a mess. Are you a mess like me in the kitchen, or you're like more elegant when it comes to cooking? I feel like I look like a
I tr-
disaster right now.
no, I try to be like, not messy, but it depends. If I'm doing a cooking demo, I'm making a hot mess because I don't really have time to like clean as I go. And after it's
Yeah.
done, I'm like, I don't even want to eat this food because I'm tired. And then also there's a huge mess that I have to clean up. So you're good.
Okay,
Awesome.
now.
So for
Mhm.
anybody who is like just joining, can you explain again why we're using the stems and not like the actual leaves?
Oh yes. So the reason why I'm using the stems and not the leaves is because I don't want the color of the mojo to change because of the cilantro. So mojo. The original mojo is originally very light in color, and I wanted to keep it the same. So I did have like a couple leaves here. I'm just gonna toss them to the side. I actually found a cool little hack. I don't know if you want me to show everyone. Hold on.
Yeah.
Because for
We love hacks.
this, yes, funny enough, hold on, sorry. Okay. Funny enough, my partner actually showed me this on TikTok, and I was like, why are you on TikTok? First of all. So, use a cheese grater to get all the leaves out of the cilantro. So, hopefully, it works because I've tried filming this so many times and it doesn't work. And I'm like, why are you doing this to me?
Okay,
Okay.
fingers crossed.
Okay. So, I guess I'm saying for this sauce it's just like easier like this way because then I just put like the leaves to the side for like
Mhm.
garnish. So you shove
Mhm.
it in the hole, right? And then you go through here and you pull it out. Oh, it
Oh
worked!
my God. That is so cool.
Yay!
That's
Okay, cool.
awesome. And this
But
is really awesome because I never really use the stems. Like I'll chop them up sometimes really tiny and like throw it in like my taco, like with the leaves and stuff. But other than that, sometimes they just kind of go to waste or I just like blend them in. I like cilantro water. I don't know if people are like that's weird, but I like to like blend cilantro and like drink it as like a water. But like other than that, I never really thought of like other ways to use it. So this is cool. And now I know how to take the leaves off. Hey.
yeah, I hate if there's like one thing I hate doing in the kitchen is chopping cilantro. Like
Yeah.
that's my enemy. All right, I'm just gonna shove that in there. I should have used my bigger blender, but whatever. We're improvising here. We're improvising. Okay,
Yes.
now orange juice. This is the orange juice is also to taste. So because me, I like a lot of garlic. I don't mind it when it's like super zingy like that. But if you want to mellow it out, use orange juice, like more orange juice than what I called for. I'm going to go in with a half. Yeah, a half. And then we'll go from there. I'll put a little bit more. Okay, and then I'll put a little bit of salt. I don't put salt in my food until the very end. I know like you're not supposed to do that or like you're supposed to salt as you go, but I have a very heavy hand. So, I don't like to put a lot of salt in my food when I first start. So, I'll do it a little bit as I go. I mean, I do it towards the end. So, I'll do the same with this. I'll only put very little bit. And now we're just going to, I'm not missing anything, right? I don't think so. Okay, now, you guys are coming with me to my blender station. Ah, if I can find where to put. Okay, cool. And I would say you can even go crazy and use like an immersion blender with this. Like maybe just put it in like a big cup and then just, like blend it with the immersion blender because of the tofu. The only thing that I think would be like a little problematic is the cilantro stems.
Hmm.
But I think a immersion blender will be cool. I know a lot of people don't really have blenders or like they choose not to have a blender because it's just so bulky and takes up a lot of space, and I agree.
Hmm.
So now that's literally all you need.
What? That was easy. I was like, okay, here we go. 5 minutes of blending.
No. I mean, check it, like because every blender is different. When high speed blenders like this, they're usually pretty good about doing it quickly. I'm just gonna taste it. Ooh, that's actually better than the first time,
Hey, it's because we're live. The pressure.
right? Oh,
That's good. So
So,
what are your plans now with all of your mojo sauce?
right, oh my gosh, I have so much.
It's a
I'm
lot.
going to, yeah, I'm going to test try it and see if I can freeze it because I am leaving next week and I will be gone for a whole week. So I think I'm gonna try to freeze it, and then when I come back, we'll see what happens. But now, like I said, I have black beans in the fridge, so I'm going to make some rice. I was going to fry tostones as we were doing this, but like I said, I'm very messy in the kitchen, and I'm not trying to get fried with the tostones.
Right.
So, I would say, yeah, like dip some tostones in it. You can for some reason mine came out a little watery, like a little more liquidy. It's supposed to be a little thicker. You
Mhm.
could put it on sandwiches. Like I did that the other day. I did like a very quick, easy vegan sandwich. Put that instead of mayo, or you can do it with
Hmm.
mayo. Go crazy, get wild. Ooh, maybe some silken instead of the silken tofu, some mayo. Hmm.
We need to have you come back to teach us how to make vegan mayo because I personally like I didn't even like mayo before going vegan, so I can have my fiance be the taste tester. But I know a lot of people like really love and miss mayo. So if you would like to come back in the future and teach us how to make that, that would be awesome. I feel
Of
like you're like the
course.
sauce queen.
Thanks.
And
I
it's
try.
awesome because it just saves a lot of money. Like you don't have to go to the stores and like if the store doesn't have veganese, like you can still have veganese. You can make it at home. I feel like a lot of people depend on these supermarkets, and we should not be doing that. You know.
I think that was one of like my first things that I tried to figure out on my own because I was spending like $7 for like the decent sized one. And David
Yeah.
takes sandwiches to work every single day. And I was like, there is no way that I am going to keep spending $7. And the mayo that I make, he's like, I can tell the difference now when you make it and when it's store bought. And
Hey.
that's like, it's funny enough. I actually have my aquafaba chilling right now so that I can make mayo later.
Oh, I
Um,
love it.
yeah,
There's so many things
yeah,
that you could do with aquafaba. Like I've attempted to make butter. It's actually really easy, like to make butter. I didn't
yeah.
realize. And that was cool. I know a lot of people make like they just bake with it. I know there's vegans who just like throw it in almost as like an oil when they're cooking. So yeah, I feel like we should do like a series or something, like sauces. I don't know. I'll email you.
Yeah, I love
I love
aquafaba.
all your food. Yeah. So I think that would
Thanks.
be cool. Um, okay, so is there anything else that we should know about this sauce?
Um, hmm. I don't know if you want to bathe in it, you can go bathe in it. I want
It's
to.
the
Oh,
new scent at Lush is gonna hit you up like, hey, we're looking for a new scent.
you
No,
want to smell
that's
like
funny.
garlic all day? Get the new
Garlic and
scent.
orange with
Yeah.
a touch of orange. Yeah, let us know like where we can find you. I already put your Instagram page, but if you have like any videos or like posts that you want us to like check out, now's your time to promote yourself.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Yeah, so I
Of
mean,
course.
just my Instagram right now, Brie No Cheese. I am working on getting a blog up. I think right now during these times, it's more important to like support your influencers or your food, however you want to call us, by going to their blog, like more traffic that way, and Instagram and their algorithm. Like I'm over it.
Yes.
um, so, I mean, yeah, just my Instagram for right now. And soon enough, I'm going to have hopefully my blog up. I'm aiming for next month. And then you can find me all on there. I'm getting a little more confident with being in front of the camera. So eventually I'll be doing hopefully lives on my own and like IGTVs and stuff like that. But yeah, if you want to keep following me and see what I post, I'm pretty active on Instagram.
Yes, I love it. Yes, Bree's stuff is amazing.
Thank
Definitely
you.
scroll all the way down because I feel like all your content, like even from the beginning stages of your Instagram life, are just like awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, and definitely going to hit you up about doing like a sauce series in collaboration with Black Veg. I think that would be cool to have like an IGTV series up that people can like reference to in the future. Trying to think of anything else. We'll definitely keep everybody updated when she has her blog up and running. I'm the same way with my website. It takes forever to like build a website and it's like so tedious. So I'm here. But you got this.
Yes,
We're waiting
thank
for those
you.
recipes. And yeah, like, all things like vegan and Cuban style food, definitely check her out. And yeah, we'll see you another time. Thank you so much for coming on and making so much more sauce that you probably even need in your house right now. But I'm sure you will enjoy it.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Bye.
Bye.